Homework checker for Wednesday. The first question's asking you to divide. So it has 421 divided by 3. So we have to figure out how many times can 3 go into 421. So if you're doing this traditionally, you can solve it right here on your paper. If you're doing this with partial quotients, you're going to need to create yourself a little cheat sheet. Okay, so I've created myself a little cheat sheet of 1 times blank, 2 times blank, 5 times blank, 10 times blank, 20, 50, 100. So you can kind of see the pattern repeats. 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. So we put our divisor in these blanks to figure out how many times can 3 go into 421. So I'm going to start solving these. This is 6, 15, and if you notice the 1, 2, 5 pattern repeats, so does the products, except now with like a little 0 behind them. Okay, so what's a big chunk that I can take out of 421? Well, I can take 300 out, so 100 groups of 3. 100 times 3 is 300, so I can subtract that. 1 minus 0 is 1, 2 minus 0 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1. So 121. Well, what's the next big chunk that I can take out? Well, I have 150, which is too big, and I have 60. But this is 20 to 50. There's some blanks that I can kind of fill in to see if they'll work. So I'm going to try 30 times 3. That's 90. I'm going to try 40 times 3. Ooh, that gives me 120. That can go into 121. So 40 times 3 is 120. Subtract that out, and I get 1 left over. 3 can't go into 1, so it's the remainder. So I add these up. I get 140. Remainder 1. Okay, so if you were to do this traditionally, you would cover up all your place values except your hundreds, and you're asking yourselves how many times can 3 go into 400, really. It can go in once. Subtract that out. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring down the 2. 3 can go into 12 4 times. Subtract that out. Bring down the 1. 3 can't go into 1. It can go in 0 times. 3 times 0, 0. Remainder of 1. So there's your final answer. These are supposed to say 150, 140, 140, 140, remainder 1. But if you solved it and you have your answer up here, you're good to go. Okay. Next questions are asking you to balance the equation. So here we have to figure out what goes in the blanks. Okay, so here we have 6 times 4 equals blank times 12. So we have to solve one side first. 6 times 4 is 24. So I have to figure out what times 12 equals 24. It's not 12 times 1, because that's 12. 12 times 2 is 24. The next one, 17 plus 6 equals blank plus 20. So I have to solve 17 plus 6 and figure out what that's getting me. 7 plus 6 is 13. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I have 23. So what plus 20 gets me 23? That's 3. Okay, and these are an example of any property. So I just scratched that out because I totally messed up, but that's okay. Next one. Which number is represented by the point on this number line? So we have 200,000, 400,000. We got to figure out our midpoint. So we go from 200, blank, 400. 200, 300,000, 400,000. So this dot is less than 300,000. And there's only one answer that's less than 300,000. Can you see it? Circle your answer that's less than 300,000. You should have gotten 250,000. Yeah. Next question is asking you to find the product. So you got to multiply to figure out what the factors equal. So I'm going to multiply using area model and traditional. I'm going to show you how to do it. 30 times 40, 40 times 6, 30 times 9, 6 times 9. So let's start over here. 6 times 9, 54. 40 times 6, cover up the 0. 6 times 4 is 24. With a 0 behind it is 240. 30 times 9 is 27. With a 0 behind it, 270. 30 times 40, 3 times 4 is 12. 2 zeros. Now we add them up. So I'm going to do 1,254 plus 270. Add those up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1,524 plus 240. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. So you get your final product of 1,764. Let's solve that traditionally. Make sure you're showing your work. 9 times 6 is 54. Keep my 4, carry my 5. 9 times 3 is 27 plus 5. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay. Drop down, put my placeholder. Cross out what I don't need. 6 times 4 is 24, carry my 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Add them up. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 4 plus 3 is 7. 1 plus 0 is 1. Final product, 1,764. All right. Number 1 for your social studies civics questions. When did the first representative government in North America begin? So we have to think about which year did the House of Burgesses begin. So 1607, no, it couldn't have been that. That's when Jamestown started. 1640, maybe. 1619, maybe. 1699, no, that's when they are starting to get into colonial Virginia and the representative government has already begun. 1783, no, that's after the Revolutionary War, so they definitely have government. So you have to decide which one of these is the correct answer. I narrowed it down for you, so use your resources. Number 2, which person or persons, meaning there might be more than one example, is an example of a representative government? A. John Smith. B. A royal governor and council. C. Burgesses. D. King James. So which one of these answer choices means that they're a representative, and there's 2 of them, just like there's 2 buns on a burger? That's the Burgesses, and there's 2 S's, which means there's 2 representatives, and that's why it has the S for persons, because Burgesses are a word to represent 2 people. Number 3, what is a law-making branch of government called? The law-making branch. It starts with an L. Legislator, monarchy, executive, judicial. People who make laws are part of the legislative branch. Number 4, who fought in the French and Indian War? A. King George III. B. Great Britain. C. France. D. Spain. Well, one of the names is in it, French, so we know France fought it. They weren't fighting the Indians. The Indians were actually on their side, but they fought Great Britain over land. Number 5, in what year was the Declaration of Independence signed? Well, there's 2 of these I can eliminate because it's not during the colonial times. So is it 1776, 1777, or 1778? One of these is correct. You must use your resources to find the answer.